Yes. Sure. I will do. Yeah, that works. That works. No problem. Ooh. Take Guadalupe Focus. So good.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. ProFed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance.
It's take 2 with Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer FC. This time the boys in blue are hosting the original Kings Hammer club based out of the Metro Cincinnati area as we continue USL2 Valley Division play at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Good evening here from the Summit City as we've got my partner Luca Malta, the third member of our broadcast crew Braden Carroll, and the rest of our phenomenal production crew tonight. Luca, Fort Wayne is coming off a convincing 2-0 win over Kings Hammer Columbus the other night, but if they're looking to stay undefeated tonight, they're going to have to rely on their depth a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's important to keep the momentum going. Fort Wayne FC in the first place in the standings and enter on the field today as a favorite. So it's important to get the 3 points and keep things going for them.
Fort Wayne FC coming in with a record of 2-0-1. The only draw coming on the road last weekend at Lexington SC. And like we mentioned, Fort Wayne just a few days removed from a 2-0 win over Kings Hammer Columbus. But Luca, you and I were talking before the match. Fort Wayne is a little short-handed tonight, especially at the striker position. Who are you keying in on to hopefully have a big performance and try to carry the offensive load for this team?
Yeah, like a guy that's been very important for Fort Wayne FC so far this season, it's been Kyle. Even though he plays as a midfielder, he already participated in 3 goals, scored twice, assisted 1 goal. We could see him here a couple of days ago scoring a great goal outside of the box. So I think he's the main guy that Fort Wayne FC is looking on the offensive side of the field today.
Kings Hammer only playing 2 matches coming into tonight. They started things off with a 2-1 win over West Virginia United, but then kind of a surprising result on Wednesday night in a scoreless draw against the Dayton Dutch Lions. Fort Wayne, of course, beating Dayton last week, but when you look at this Kings Hammer team, they are coached by Tony A. War, who was in his first season as the head coach. Tony mentioning that this team is very talented, but also a little immature at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's important for every team in USL2 to keep this balance between experience and younger players. Like we've seen across the years, like a lot of college players playing here. So like we know that like somebody that's 18, 19, a college player, it's normal for them to be a little inconsistent. Doesn't mean that they are bad players. So like I think if they find this consistency, they can be a great team.
Sort of a similar storyline to what we saw from the Kings Hammer Columbus team on Wednesday night. A lot of talent. It's just a question of whether they can find a way to put it all together for 90 minutes. And we're going to see that unfold in about 15 minutes as we are inching closer and closer to kickoff. When we come back, we will look back on Wednesday night's win for Fort Wayne over Kings Hammer Columbus, as well as talk a little bit more about the starting 11 for both sides. This is USL2 Valley Division Soccer on Sports Engine Play.
Huh? I got face for radio. We could be in.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting, or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
And then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
We are Force Tech.
Back from Bishop Darcy Stadium as we're inching closer to kickoff between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer FC Cincinnati. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these statistical leaders from this Fort Wayne FC crew so far. And when you look at the total goal scores, a lot of distribution all over the place. 4 different players have scored goals, and it's led by Kyle Oliveira with 2. He mentioned after the match on Wednesday, it doesn't matter who's scoring the goals as long as we're getting them. And Luca, they are certainly getting them so far.
Yeah, that's the spirit of the team. Like, we can tell that like there's no ego, there's no like selfish players on the team. Like, they're really sharing the ball, and like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's going to score. Like, if Fort Wayne wins the game, like that's what matters for them, right? So we could see, as you said, like Kyle is scoring, Mamadou Diarra is scoring, Abubakar is scoring, Matthew is scoring, but like we know that they have so many other players that are capable of doing that. And today we see stepping on the field other players like Rude is getting a chance today and as an attacker, and we know that like he's a dangerous player. He's also capable of scoring goals.
Defensively, Ori Briscoe has been stellar yet again this season. 2 clean sheets in 3 division matches, not to mention combining for a shutout alongside David Anderson in the win against Sueño FC to open the season, but that was just a friendly. But what have you liked about how this defensive unit, that back line that's anchored by Thiago Diaz and Reed Sproat, how do you feel like that chemistry is played out early on this season?
Yeah, it's working really well for Fort Wayne FC, and not only on this season. Like, we've seen these guys playing here for 2-3 years already, and like the connection that they have between them is something special. So Ori, Thiago, Reed, they are this triangle on the back that like gives the team the support, and like they pass confidence for the team.
About 12 minutes out from kickoff as we're going to turn it down to the field for the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Braden Carroll. Rather, we'll wait just a minute. In the meantime, as we're waiting for some of the folks on the field to get rolling, we do want to take a moment to shout out some of our partners, in particular, Ruoff Mortgage. Let Ruoff Mortgage be your #1 choice for all your home ownership needs. Ruoff Mortgage is proud to be your home team. We also want to shout out Optimum Performance Sports. OPS, the official sports medicine partner for Fort Wayne FC. Rethink your limit with OPS. And Fort Wayne Newspapers and the Journal-Gazette. Make sure to stay up to date on all the Fort Wayne FC news by subscribing to the Journal-Gazette, Fort Wayne's locally owned newspaper. So we'll step aside again for a moment, and when we come back, we'll continue our pregame coverage right here from Bishop Darcy Stadium.
Fort Wayne FC fans, it's time for us to present our ball kits presented by Simplex Securities. So each of you will just tell us your name and what school you go to or what club you play for.
I'm supposed to toss it to Braden.
I'm Alexa Rashid, and I play for Nora Middle School. Cody Ringer, and I play for Strikers FC. Silas Johnson and Strikers. My name is Santiago, and I go to Eel River. Jackson, and I go to Eel River. Matt, and I go to Strikers FC. My name is Nathan, and I go to Strikers.
My name is Andreas, and I go to Select.
My name is Drew, and I play for Strikers.
Hope you all enjoy the match today. Shout out to our ball kits presented by Simplex Securities, local with modern technology.
And appreciate Braden for giving a shout out to tonight's ball boys. Always doing some of the work that goes behind the scenes and Always great to get them involved in the match. Now, Luca, let's go ahead and take a look back to Wednesday's match for Fort Wayne. We mentioned the boys in blue taking care of business in a 2-0 win, and kind of a theme that we have seen from Fort Wayne early on this season. They are definitely a second-half team.
Yeah, and like we could see, like we talked a little bit about it last Wednesday, that the game was pretty even. Like we could see a team from Kings Hammer that was a very good team that could cause some troubles for Fort Wayne FC, especially in the first half and on the second half. As we could see it here on Wednesday, like the quality showed up for Fort Wayne. So Kyle finding a solution, finding a shot from outside of the box, then Matthew in a 1v1 finding the second goal for Fort Wayne. So it was like, okay, it was a 2-0 win, but like it was a tough game. Like Kings Hammer was able to cause some trouble, and the quality that Fort Wayne has on these players could solve the problem for them.
It felt like Fort Wayne put that match away in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and again, kind of a theme that we might see with this Kings Hammer Cincinnati team. Kings Hammer Columbus has the talent, but it was just a stretch of poor play over 10 minutes. Things kind of spiraling out of control, and Fort Wayne was just unable to respond. And with that, let's turn it back down to the field for the third member of our crew, Braden Carroll.
Match today with a new starter out in front of the goal with Christian Erloof, a two-time All-Great Lakes Valley Conference selection. He led Division II last season with 14 clean sheets while playing in every minute of every match for the Bearcats. Coach Avery talked about how amongst his goalkeeping squad, they need to have everybody ready to step up at any time this season. It's Erloof's turn to shine. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Braden, and that is a very good point. Christian Erloof inserted into the starting 11 tonight. Guys like Ruud Schneider-Bobrun, he is in the starting 11 along with Virgil Delanol, who was coming off the bench in Wednesday's win. But again, if you're going to win another Valley Division title, Mike Avery has stressed this time and time again over the last few years. You have got to have quality depth on your roster, and at times it almost feels like you got to have two teams on your roster.
Yeah, no, and it's great for Fort Wayne FC. It's great for Coach Mike that he has 2, 3, 4 options for some of the positions. It's a great problem for a coach to have. Like this group has a lot of quality, and like we are going to be able to see it throughout the season. That like one guy steps out, another one steps in, and like the main goal is that like the quality of the team stays the same or even increases. And as you mentioned, like to win in a USL2, to win in a competition that's so intense that they play 2-3 times a week, it's important to have a strong roster.
As for Kings Hammer FC's team this season, just taking a look at some of their key standouts, probably the biggest name that catches our attention. When you look at a USL2 team, you tend to see a lot of guys that are still in college or maybe recently out of college. But then you've got a guy like Kenny Walker, who was formerly a second-round pick in the MLS Super Draft, drafted by the LA Galaxy, played for Bruce Arena, a former Team USA coach, and used to be one of the founding members of FC Cincinnati back before they made the jump from USL to MLS. He's in the starting 11 tonight, and it's almost like he's another coach out there.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, that like it's like we have a lot of college players on the pitch, like we have young players on the pitch, and it's not very common in a USL2 match to see somebody that's over 30. But like it's very good for Kings Hammer to have someone like him, as you said, like it's a second coach on the pitch. He's somebody that can calm things down, that can pass some of his experience for these young players, and he can be a key player for them.
I know. Well, looking back on last season, I think Dayton had a player like that who was in their 30s and playing USL2. But it's always interesting, kind of the quirks that you'll see in USL2 when it comes to roster building and the availability of players from match in and match out. But it'll be really interesting to see how Kenny and his years of expertise playing across the board will do against a squad like Fort Wayne FC tonight. Meanwhile, there's a lot of other talented guys too. Guys like Nick McHenry, who will be one of those midfielders tonight. Nick is a part of an Ohio State team that at one point was the #1 team in the country last season. He was named to the All-Big Ten freshman team in his freshman season last year. So again, a lot of talent on display, but we got to see if Kings Hammer can find a way to get things clicking early on this season.
Yeah, like it's important, like they have quality players that come from different backgrounds. It's important to see like how they're going to put their qualities together, right? It's important to see how their chemistry is going to be on the pitch, if they're going to be on the same page. Like they have the quality there, yes. But I'm curious to see how they're going to put all this quality together and form a team here.
And not to mention too, you've got guys that are familiar playing with each other, not just for Kings Hammer, but also for their college with Northern Kentucky. You've got 3-4 guys all playing with the Norse, of course, where Kings Hammer plays their home matches during the course of the season. Guys like Wade Stinson, Bennett Jarrett, who will be coming off the bench today, and Diego Hunderkamp, who is just coming off his freshman season with the Norse. So again, kind of like what we see with Fort Wayne FC, guys that played together either at the USL1 level or guys that played at the collegiate level, a little chemistry at that level as well.
Yeah, that's important. That helps a lot. Like you're coming to a new team, if you have people that you know, if you have people that know the play style that you have, it definitely helps. Not only the players, but also the coach.
We will take one last break, and when we come back, we'll introduce your starting 11 and get you all set for kickoff here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. USL2 Valley Division Soccer coming up next on Sports Engine Play.
Is coached by Tony Awar. And now let's introduce your Fort Wayne FC starters. From Pickerington, Ohio, number 2, Anthony Hernandez.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting, or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
well, us actually,
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
And then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
we are Force Tech.
From Montreal, Quebec, number 7, Matthew Catavolo. From Grenoble, France, number 15, Virgil Delano. From Paris, France, number 17, Ruth Schneider-Beaubrun. From Otter, Denmark, number 18, Christian Herlew. From Espago de Esta, Brazil, number 20, Caio Oliveira. From Auburn, Indiana, number 25, Reed Sproat. And from Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 33, Thiago Campos. Fort Wayne FC is coached by Mike Avery and assisted by Keelan Barker, Max Rose, and Jack Rose. Tonight's officials are Mason Hopschmidt, Joseph Bellevin.
Minutes away from kickoff here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Fort Wayne FC unbeaten at 2-0-1. They are hosting Kings Hammer Cincinnati with a 1-0-1 record. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting 11 for both sides, beginning with the visitors out of Kings Hammer. In the back line, you've got Dominic Bradenbach, number 13, the center backs, Ekene Okeke, as well as Wade Stinson, out of Northern Kentucky. Rounding out that back line, you've got Noah Hall, a standout that goes to the Pitt Panthers. Midfielders, you've got Diego Hunderkamp, who we mentioned moments ago, Nick McHenry, a very talented standout out of Ohio State, and Owen Parrish to round out those midfielders. And in the attack, you've got Brock Kuiper, Bennett Painter, and Kenny Walker, as we mentioned, a former MLS Super Draft pick. Starting 11 for Fort Wayne FC in the back line, very similar as what we've seen all season. Anthony Hernandez and Al-Sadiq Hassan are your wings. Reed Sproat and Thiago Diaz are your center backs. In the midfield, you've once again got Tavio Dalmida, Caio Oliveira, but then you've got Thiago Campos, who came off the bench in the last match. He will be starting tonight. And then finally in the attack, you've got Ruth Schneider-Beaubrun, Virgil Delano, as well as Matthew Catavolo, who scored his first goal in a Fort Wayne FC uniform. We'll take a pause for our national anthem. When we come back, it's kickoff here at Darcy Stadium.
Fans, please stand and remove your caps for the U.S. National Anthem, presented by All-American Stores, sung by the Summit Middle School Choir, led by Caitlin Banton.
And we are just about set for kickoff here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, the site of your USL Valley Division match between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer Cincinnati. Fort Wayne in their home blue kits, Kings Hammer in their visiting red. These two with a history that goes back all the way to the second season of Fort Wayne FC's existence back in 2022. These two have had some battles over the years, Luca, including last year's matchup to end the regular season. Luca, I'm not sure if you remember, but Fort Wayne actually won that match playing down a man for most of the game. Anthony Hernandez, who's part of the starting 11 tonight, he was shown a straight red in the 10th minute, but somehow, someway, Fort Wayne, who had already clinched the Valley Division, they persevered and won 2-0, including a goal from Tiago Diaz in the 90th minute. And Brandon Birmingham, a Fort Wayne FC alum who's now playing professionally, he scored the game-winning goal for the boys in blue.
Yeah, like Fort Wayne FC has been getting a great performance against Kings Hammer. Like in history, they played 10 games. Fort Wayne won 7 of them, tied 1, and only lost 2 times. So Fort Wayne has been the lucky side against Kings Hammer in the times that they meet each other. And as you said, last year was a crazy game, like playing one man down since the beginning of the game, and somehow Fort Wayne FC still managed to get the win.
Our officials for tonight's match, you've got Joseph Belovich, Caleb Carrico, Oscar Huante, and Mason Potschmidt. A solid crowd on hand as you see tonight. It is Mental Health Awareness and Healthcare Workers Night. Great chance to put the spotlight on some of the healthcare workers all across Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana that do a very thankless job. This night is in partnership with one of Fort Wayne FC's partners, Remedy Live, who always puts the spotlight on mental health and trying to make sure that an illness that doesn't always get seen on a physical level, people making sure that they take care of their mental health on a daily basis as well. Brock Kuiper gets things rolling for Kings Hammer as we are underway here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Fort Wayne FC is going to be a little short-handed tonight. As we mentioned, Luca, we saw Oliver Muller-Jensen injured in the last match on Wednesday night. Abubakar Traore, he's unavailable tonight. He will hopefully be back with the team next week. And then you've also got Mamadou Diarra, who is scratched from the lineup tonight. So not a lot of strikers for Fort Wayne. It'll be interesting to see where the offense comes from.
Yeah, but like as Coach mentioned, like one guy gets out, one guy gets in, right? So Fort Wayne has all these guys that are not here today, they are not available for the game, but we also have this game as an opportunity for a guy like Rude, for Kaio to play up top. Like I'm interested to see how the dynamics are going to be for the offensive of Fort Wayne today.
There's Tavio Dalmida, that's center mid, making a return to Fort Wayne FC after getting a taste of playing professionally. Rude Schneider-Bolbrun going on the run, outpacing the keeper, and he hits the side of the net. A great early touch for Schneider-Bolbrun, outpacing Jack Moxham. And thankfully for Kings Hammer, they did not surrender an early goal.
Yeah, no, great opportunity for Fort Wayne FC to start the game, starting the game like really close to score. Great vision from Tavio finding Rude. Rude using his space to dribble the goalkeeper, and I think the angle was not the best for him because we can see like actually it was Anthony. Great ball from Anthony. We can see him dribble the goalkeeper, and then the angle is not the best. He was inches away from score.
Jack Moxham, first time we've called his name tonight, a native of Milwaukee. He plays college soccer at Pitt along with Noah Hall. So 2 members of the Pitt Panthers on this Kings Hammer team. And Moxham avoids catastrophe. There's Al Sadiq Hassan, who came off the bench in Wednesday night's win over Kings Hammer Columbus. Diaz trying to thread the needle, and Moxham able to boot it away from Ruud Schneider-Bolbrun. Offsides flag was not up, so interesting if Bolbrun was able to time the run correctly.
Very good from Ruud so far. 3 minutes in the game, he already running behind twice, becoming like a good option, a good outlet for the defenders of Fort Wayne FC, and almost connected this one this time.
This is Rude's second season with Fort Wayne, playing 12 matches last season. And while he didn't necessarily put up the goal numbers, he was still a great veteran presence for this field. We talked about Kenny Walker pre-match, Luca, and you got a guy like Rude Schneider-Bobrun for Fort Wayne. He's 27, so he has seen his fair share of experience in his playing career too. As we've got a foul going against Kings Hammer and an early set-piece opportunity for Fort Wayne. So we've got Diaz, Delanol. Instead, they'll just reset play with Hernandez on the wing. Here's Bobrun. Bobrun, actually no stranger to playing at Bishop Darcy Stadium. He played his college soccer career at Spring Arbor, which is the same conference as St. Francis in the Crossroads League. That ball taken away by Dominic Bradenbach. Challenge for the ball, last touch by Bobrun. Bradenbach, a standout out of Memphis. He actually helped the Tigers win an AAC regular season championship this past season. Before that, Bradenbach actually playing in the Circle City at IU Indianapolis. And a foul called against Fort Wayne as Kings Hammer will get an early set piece. So Kenny Walker, as we mentioned, the former MLS Super Draft pick, will set things up. And all but 3 red kits will make the trek towards the goal. Again, no Ari Briscoe tonight for Fort Wayne. Christian Herloof getting his first start with Fort Wayne. And he might be tested in the opening minutes. Here's Walker. Lofted ahead, and Herloof with no problems. In transition, here comes Al Sadiq Hassan. Now Hernandez. Again, Hernandez getting a straight red the last time that these two teams went head-to-head in the 10th minute. That was the regular season finale of last year. And I'm sure for Hernandez's case, that's priority number 1 for him. Play all 90 minutes or until Coach Avery subs him out. There's Noah Hall, the other Pitt Panther. Stolen away by Campos. And a good job by Campos to retain possession. Early minutes at Darcy Stadium. Fantastic crowd on a fantastic evening to close out the month of May. Reed Sproke getting challenged. And a deep ball that sails over everyone's heads. A good job by Kings Hammer to turn up the pressure that time and force the takeaway. Delanol feeding Bobrun. Now into the attacking third with Hernandez. Bobrun on the wing. And last touch by Walker as we've got our first corner kick of the night for Fort Wayne.
Only 7 minutes in the game, but so far Rude playing really well. Like the best moments Fort Wayne had in these 7 minutes came from him, like running behind, combining with Anthony. Very good from him so far.
Virgil Delanol will take this corner kick for Fort Wayne. A chance to strike early for the boys in blue. Near post. Some contact from Dalmida, and finally swept away by Wade Stinson. Stinson, one of 4 members of Northern Kentucky playing on this game day roster for Kings Hammer. Of course, Kings Hammer plays their home matches at the Norse's Soccer Complex in Highland Heights. A lot of Cincinnati and Cincinnati area talent with this Kings Hammer crew from Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana. And again, kind of a contrast to what we're seeing with Fort Wayne. Some local flavor from Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana, but a lot of international talent as well. Hassan getting pressured, able to get away from Hall. And that was out of bounds. There's Nick McHenry. First time we've called his name tonight. Again, the standout out of Ohio State. And some good pressure turned up by Fort Wayne. Hall losing possession, but first the ball went out of bounds. And again, that's a staple of Mike Avery's program. Pressure from all 10 men on the pitch. Good stab away that time by Owen Parrish. Hassan resets for Fort Wayne. And Campos has to give it back to Sproat. Again, Fort Wayne trying to work east to west. A lot like what we saw on Wednesday night's match against Kings Hammer Columbus.
Yeah, it's tough to play against a team that plays in a low block, so compact as Kings Hammer is doing here today. So Fort Wayne has to be patient, move the ball side to side, keep moving, all the players moving, and then eventually they are going to find the space.
It's kind of been the staple for Kings Hammer Cincy so far. Only 1 goal allowed in 2 division matches. That includes a clean sheet and a scoreless draw against the Dayton Dutch Lions on Wednesday night. So the goals have been hard to score on against Kings Hammer, but at the same time, they've only got 2 goals total this season, and both of them coming in the season-opening win against West Virginia United. Here comes Kings Hammer on the attack. Sproat gets to it first, and he sweeps it away. Already past 10 minutes in this match, and still searching for our first goal. Fort Wayne's depth getting tested tonight. A lot of talented scorers unavailable for tonight, as Noah Hall has possession for Kings Hammer. Walker feeds ahead. Stabbed away for the moment. Diaz boots it away. Here's Okene Okeke out of Xavier University. Now Dominic Bredenbach against Bobrun, and the ball is out of bounds. Bobrun waving his arm to signal that that ball crossed the touchline. Early on, Luca, this feels like a chess match. You kind of talked about how the spaces are going to be very tight against this Kings Hammer defense.
Yeah, and it's usually like that in a soccer match. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, it's more like about like studying the other team. Like you never know, like if they're coming pressing high, if they're going to defend in a low block, like the formation. Like sometimes the teams can adapt and change something tactically to match the other team, match the opponent. So like I think so far Fort Wayne could see that like, okay, Kings Hammer is going to play in a low block. They're going to be really compact, as you can see in the image. Like all players in red are between 30 and 50 yards. Like it's hard to get inside there. So then the solutions should come. Like okay, like Root's going to stretch. Somebody's going to find a pocket in the middle. Then Fort Wayne is going to eventually find these spaces as the game goes.
And a big thing from the Wednesday win, too, you saw some of the tactical changes, too. Some of the substitutions, of course. Namek Mehic coming in once Oliver Muller-Jensen was injured. Campos coming in as well for Tavio. Meanwhile, a deep pass for Matthew Caravolo, but he is called offside.
I'm not sure about this one.
It was close.
But see, that's a good solution that Fort Wayne is using on the beginning of the game. So like Kings Hammer is keeping their back line so high, like they're on the 20, in the 30-yard line. So like if the wingers from Fort Wayne, if Matt, if Rude have the space to run in behind, it's a good solution for them. Rude almost scored from a ball like that, and now Matt would be 1v1 with the goalkeeper if it was not an offside.
Hall wins that one-on-one battle against Hassan. On the give and go, Hassan sniffs it out as Caravolo sends it up ahead. Mocks him really out of his post again. That's got to be something that Fort Wayne could take advantage of. That's the second time we've seen that already.
Yeah, like it's important for him to stay high because you see like the back line is so high, there is a big gap between them and their goal, so the goalkeeper has to come and cover this. But it's dangerous too, as you said, like if Fort Wayne, if one of the players is able to make a run and take a touch before him, it's going to dribble him and have the goal open for them.
Oliveira applying pressure. Turf Monster eats him up, and Bradenbach gets it away. Hard contact against Reed Sproat, and he'll get whistled for the foul. Sproat dragging down Brock Kuiper, rather Bennett Painter. '15th minute here at Darcy Stadium. Luca Multa, Braden Carroll, the third member of our broadcast crew, as well as our phenomenal production staff here at Darcy Stadium. Third home match here this season, as Fort Wayne is trying to stay unbeaten in Valley Division play and keep pace with Lexington SC in the Valley Division. Hassan heads that away, as Hall will reset with a throw-in for Kings Hammer. A solid takeaway by Dalmida, and booted back by Parrish. Kings Hammer trying to stretch the pitch themselves, but nobody waiting in the attacking third. So Christian Herloof, again, first start in a Fort Wayne FC kit, subbing in for Ari Briscoe, who's unavailable tonight. He's yet to be tested, but very, very talented, as Braden mentioned during our pregame coverage. Herloof, a standout for Division II McKendree, was actually the goalkeeper of the year in his conference, the Great Lakes Valley. Not to mention, he led the country in regular season shutouts and goals against average. A solid first touch by Hernandez. Up ahead, here's Bobrun. Out on the wing, Bobrun against Okeke. And last touched by Okeke as that ball trickles out for corner kick number 2. Bobrun making his presence felt in the early minutes. So Delano went near post the first time around. Let's see what he draws up this time. Delano. Far post, ball hanging around outside the 18 as Hassan gives it up to Oliveira. And maybe a chance for Kings Hammer to counter back in transition, but a great job by Hassan to cut off Bradenbach in his tracks. So Fort Wayne 0 for 2 on corner kicks this evening. Again, just trying to test out this unit of Kings Hammer. Very compact in that back third. Here's Campos. Out on the wing to Hernandez. Service into the box, headed away by Okeke for the moment. Bradenbach has to send it back to the goal line, and we've got another corner kick. Third corner kick already for Fort Wayne, this time on the near side corner. And it looks like Campos will be the man to take it. Actually, no, take that back. It is still Delano. Delano going back post. Sprout had a solid look, but first there was contact inside the box. Meanwhile, Thiago Diaz almost timed that run perfectly, Luca.
Yeah, it was well played. A good ball played by Virgil in the second post. Thiago was just a little late for this ball. Well done by Kings Hammer defender to number 5, Stinson. Cleared it, and the ref got the fall on him.
So through 20 minutes, Kings Hammer's defense has been up to the task. 3 set pieces in the defending third, but Fort Wayne has nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, Kings Hammer hasn't really had a solid look at the net.
It's tough for them because they are too low on the pitch. So even though when they get the ball, Fort Wayne repress and get it back. Because like they're too low, they're too deep on the field, you know, like even for the strikers, for the wingers here, for them, if they get the ball, they are like 50, 60 meters away from the goal.
And you're not really seeing a counter press from Kings Hammer's side. Well, here's Campos beating his man Walker. Campos weaving in, Hernandez. Service into the box, and last touched by Bobrun. Rather Kings Hammer.
Fort Wayne having a lot of success on this right side with Thiago Campos combining with Anthony Rude also on this side. We got to keep forcing the game on this side because good things are coming from there.
How about Campos, too, outpacing 2-3 red kits, including Kenny Walker. So now Delano with corner kick number 4. Delano going far post. Hassan lets it rip. And if it wasn't for the netting, that'd be hitting the St. Francis campus buildings. Diaz crashing in as he gets whistled for the foul. Knocking down Parrish. Walker trying to counter quickly with Kings Hammer. Here comes Kuiper on the wing. Waiting for help. Last touch by Diaz, and Diaz boots it away. Okeke trying to keep it in play for Kings Hammer, but Bradenbach unable to catch up. And again, the one time we see numbers push forward for Kings Hammer, they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I feel that Pender has to do better with this ball. Like, was the first time that Kings Hammer had an opportunity to actually get closer to Fort Wayne FC box. You are inside of the box with the ball. Like, you have players to pass it to. You can dribble, you can shoot. He just tried to cross, but it was a low cross that Thiago could block it. I feel that he has enough quality to do better than that.
So a free kick awarded to Fort Wayne after that foul. About halfway through half number 1 here. Honderkamp applying pressure to Diaz. Carnavolo was trying to time the run, but instead it's picked off by Hall as he is tackled from behind by Delano. Just incidental contact. Here's Okeke. Now McHenry, the standout from Ohio State. Over to Hall. Booted away by Campos. And Parrish sending that all the way back. Just a few feet away from the goal line. See, this would feel like the time now for Kings Hammer to start applying pressure. You got to think this is a throw-in deep in Fort Wayne territory. As Hassan nearly has his back against the wall. Bobrun given chase. As Moxham has to give it up to Hall. And a good stop by Hassan to stop the momentum for the moment. Hassan, of course, a native of St. Louis. First season with Fort Wayne. Played collegiately at SIU Edwardsville. But his most recent experience before coming to Fort Wayne, he played with South Georgia Tormenta. And for more, we'll throw it down to the third member of our crew, Braden Carroll.
From the bench of Kings Hammer FC so far, specifically from the head coach, Tony O'War, a guy who's had experience as the developmental coach with Queen's Park Rangers in England. He's had a simple message for his squad so far, and I'll save it for the airwaves, but get your stuff together. This is a team that really hasn't had many attacks so far early on. He's looking for his squad to get things going.
I got a feeling that Coach O'War said something other than stuff. Thank you for that, Braden. But hey, O'War is right. I mean, Kings Hammer really hasn't had any quality chances in this first half.
Yeah, I feel that they're doing really well without the ball. Like, they are defending well, they are compact, they are causing, like, they're giving a hard time to Fort Wayne to break them down. But now the next step for them is to just, like, be better on the ball. When they have it, when they get it back, like, they got to be better. Connect more passes, counter-attack. Like, they got to do something better when they have the ball.
It's almost like they're trying to play not to lose, which, you know, it's not a bad strategy when playing a very dangerous team like Fort Wayne. But at the same time, if you want to come away with points, you got to find a way to get some goals yourself. Meanwhile, Fort Wayne pressing again in the midfield. Already minute 26 in this match. Okeke losing control. Bobra nearly gets it. Instead, Oliveira gives it up to Hernandez. Out wide, here's Hassan. Trying to break down that tough shape of Kings Hammer. And rejected that time by Parrish. But moments ago, if you thought Bobra maybe had one or two more clean steps, he could have gotten off a quality attempt.
Yeah, I think it's coming to this for Fort Wayne. Like, it's these little details. So, like, it was close for Root to get this ball now. In the next play, Tavio finds Kyle. He takes a touch. The ball bounces. It's a little too high for him to connect with Anthony. So it's just, like, clean these little details for them to start, like, getting closer to goal and even score on this first half.
Maybe a chance for Kings Hammer to counter the other way. So what a job by Diaz and Hassan to suffocate the attacking painter.
That's the thing that makes it really hard for Kings Hammer today, because, like, Fort Wayne counter press is really good. So, like, Kings Hammer intercepted the pass. They find an opportunity to get a counter attack, but then the counter press is there, and Fort Wayne immediately gets the ball back. So, like, to defend for 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's okay, but, like, the longer you go.
Here comes Bobrun. Out on the wing, trying to outpace Bradenbach, and a sliding tackle creates another corner kick.
Yeah, as I was saying, like, the longer you defend, like, the more tired you get, and then, like, the spaces come, because, like, you don't have the legs to cover the space they're supposed to, then things get really, really hard.
Can already count the number of corner kicks on one hand for Fort Wayne. Number 5 now. Delano taking all 5 of them. Delano, far post, And that was touched by Sproat. Couldn't get a clean head on it. Still not out of trouble yet. Oliveira. Tangled up by Kuiper. And that will result in another Fort Wayne throw-in. Little give and go, Cadavolo to Oliveira, and a hard challenge. No foul is called. What a job by Hassan to keep possession alive, though.
You see, like, you can count the seconds that Kings Hammer has the ball. It's 1, 2, 3, turnover. 1, 2, 3, turnover. Fort Wayne really doing well with this counter press here.
Dalmida on the wing, but Hernandez was thinking 2 steps ahead. And again, you're just seeing a lot more of a fluid game from Fort Wayne so far compared to Kings Hammer.
One thing I would like to see a little bit more from Fort Wayne on this first half is like using more the left side. I feel that like they're combining well on the right with Rude, with Anthony, Thiago there. But then like they gotta put Matt on the game. I feel that like they're not using him enough on this first half.
Now a chance in transition. Bullbrun out on the wing again against Okeke. Waiting for some help. Bullbrun to Oliveira. Can't slide it through. Oliveira inches away from goal number 3, but it does bring up another corner.
Wow, great save. Great save. Another time we can see Rude causing trouble to Kings Hammer here. He goes in a 1v1.
Crossing pass, sailing over everybody's heads as Fort Wayne was trying to go quick with the corner kick. And again, still an offer for Fort Wayne on those set pieces. But that was the best look yet for Fort Wayne. The first shot on goal for either side.
Yeah, like Kyle getting close to Rude, combining with him, little give and go there. Great chance for Fort Wayne.
Here's Kenny Walker. Oh, and hard contact. The yellow card coming out right away against Painter. Hassan taking contact to the back of his head. And keep in mind, Fort Wayne already shorthanded coming into tonight. So our first booking of the night, that goes against Kings Hammer. And thankfully, Hassan is back on his feet. Scary situation that time. And Hassan wasting no time, making his presence felt. Kuiper trying to apply a little pressure now. Instead, Fort Wayne trying to work that left side. Still scoreless here at Darcy Stadium, more than a half hour into this match. Hassan takes another tough tackle, and another yellow coming out this time for Diego Honderkamp. Good grief, Hassan is just getting beat up over the last couple of minutes. He is tough, though. On the wrong end of a pair of yellow cards, some tough challenges. But you see why Mike Avery wanted to bring him in. And it's becoming more and more clear why he had some experience playing USL1 last year.
He's a great player. He's doing good on this first half. And, like, well, had to handle some tough tackles in the past minutes.
Of course, that's probably one of the prevailing thoughts for a lot of these guys on this team. Almost an audition for the USL1 team when Fort Wayne makes the jump next year. Another hard challenge, this time Stinson.
And we can tell that like Kings Hammer is choosing to be a little extra aggressive on this game. Like in every tackle, they are leaving something for Fort Wayne FC players. Like you can tell that like they are putting everything on this.
So now Fort Wayne with another set piece coming up. Not a corner, as the Three Rivers Regiment anxiously awaiting a score for the boys in blue. Cadavolo, who scored his first goal the other night, gets things rolling. And Cadavolo sends that past the crossbar. Not a bad idea, just a little too much muscle behind that leg.
Yeah, maybe the cross was a better idea here. And I was saying that like Kings Hammer players are playing a little too aggressive. We could see Thiago complaining on the box that Thiago complaining on the box that like somebody punched him or hit him in the face. Like they're definitely like always leaving something for Fort Wayne FC players here.
Kings Hammer trying to counter quickly, but an errant pass going right to Herluf. It's almost like a double-edged sword for Herluf right now, getting his first starts in a Fort Wayne FC kit. Hasn't really been challenged yet, but at the same time, you don't... It's not like he's asking for some action, but at the same time, don't want his mind to wander. As play has been so focused towards Kings Hammer's end. Meanwhile, Honderkamp, who just got the yellow. Nice give and go over to Kuiper. Kuiper lets it rip, and Herluf has to make his first stop. You know, almost speaking that into existence.
Yeah, that's the challenge for a goalkeeper, especially in a team like Fort Wayne that likes to keep the ball, that likes to press high. Like, you got to be active the entire game. Like, maybe you're going to have to work like once, twice in a game, and you have to be ready.
Solid defense again from Fort Wayne, and Braden Carroll has a little bit more on Fort Wayne's strong defensive play.
Well, so far, Fort Wayne's defense has been incredibly strong. You look at Kings Hammer, they've held up as well. Just listening to what we've heard on the bench with Coach Avery so far, it's been all about stopping Kings Hammer on the run, and they haven't really been forced into many situations. This is a Fort Wayne squad. Their offense builds on their defense. The more that they're on the attack, the less that they have to worry.
Thank you for that, Braden, and that brings up another good point, too, when we talk with Coach Avery heading into this week. Defense was definitely a point of emphasis in those training sessions, and that was definitely a point that was brought up in the 1-1 draw against Lexington last week. When Fort Wayne is able to get all 10 guys buying into those defensive principles, they're able to build from the back and build up a solid attack. Diaz lets that ball crawl out of bounds as Hassan has another throw in. And again, we kind of made the point too on Wednesday night, but Coach Avery comparing the defensive work you have to do to like mowing the lawn. You got to do all that dirty work. You got to get your allowance as a kid, and then you can do the fun stuff. Meanwhile, Bo Brunny's had a busy first half. Hernandez has to come back from an offsides position, so he doesn't touch it. And a hard challenge. We play on. Dalmida out wide to Hassan, and he can't track that down.
I tell you, that's an opportunity. You got to do a little bit better than that, because like it's one of the few moments in the game that Fort Wayne could face a defense that was not prepared for an attack. So like Kings Hammer had a mistake building up, and then Fort Wayne has the ball against 4 or 5 defenders. Some opportunity that it's been like a goal opportunity for Fort Wayne in this first half.
Diaz almost doing the splits, stopping the ball in its tracks, and Dalmida playing the ball from his rear end. As Fort Wayne eventually regains possession. Again, everybody just buying in, just tackling the ball, and it results in a takeaway. Okeke shielding the ball as it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Fort Wayne. And again, the first halves haven't exactly been Fort Wayne's best friends so far this season. But they've still taken care of business in the second half, and I'd be really curious to see what Mike Avery has drawn up in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, from 5 goals he scored this season, 4 of them in the second half, right?
Sounds about right. I think the only one coming in the first half was against Dayton.
Yep.
And that was the strike from Mamadou.
Exactly.
Of course, Mamadou not active tonight. Fort Wayne a little short-handed when it comes to some of their attacking players. Oh, a dangerous chance as Bulbrun sliding away as Herloof was out of position, and Bulbrun prevents a goal against Kings Hammer. What a job by Kenny Walker with the set piece, setting up what appeared to be Painter.
Yeah, very, very smart from Walker. He pretended that he was going to cross it on the box, and all of a sudden he find a good pass for Painter. Painter 1v1. The ball was high for him. The ball bounced and it was a little too high for him, so he had to head it, and really good by Rude to clear it off the line.
So Walker, a former MLS Super Draft pick, will set up this corner. Far post. Okeke in position, and it was last touched by Kings Hammer. Crisis averted. But that was the best look yet for either side, and Fort Wayne avoids catastrophe. Now trying to counter before the defense gets set. Good feed up ahead. Campos with some space. Now to Bulbrun. Waiting on the overlap. Campos with space. The cross and snatched down by Moxham.
Good movement by Campos, forcing the finding a spot on the right side. But like we have today in Fort Wayne FC, Kyle, Rude, Matt, all these guys that are short. So like maybe the best idea is to cross it on the floor. And they don't have the height to go up to fight against all these tall guys that Kings Hammer has on defense to win a header.
Yeah, Moxham listed at 6'3". You look at some of the other center backs. Okeke listed at 6'1". Wade Stinson at 6'2". Kings Hammer certainly has the height advantage. And a chance now for Kuiper, weaving his way through the heart of the defense as Herloof stabs away with his foot and sets up corner kick number 2 for Kings Hammer.
And we could see in the past minutes Kings Hammer doing a little bit better in the offensive side of the pitch, right? We were talking that they were doing well defending, that they were compact, but they were not being able to connect passes to counterattack, to be dangerous to Fort Wayne FC. But in the past 10, 15 minutes, we can see them getting closer and closer from Fort Wayne FC goal.
Kenny Walker took the first corner kick. This time, it's Dominic Bradenbach. Bradenbach going far post. Header pinballing around the 18 and finally swept away by Fort Wayne. So Fort Wayne's defense holding up on the set pieces. Kings Hammer 0 for 2. Oliveira trying to apply pressure. Here's Kuiper. And Hernandez trying to steal that away, but he does at least force a throw-in. Final minutes of the first half, both sides still searching for their first goal. Both sides with one shot on goal so far. Here comes Bolbrun, outpacing everybody, waiting for help. Bolbrun, cross in and stabbed away by Stinson. Another corner kick coming up.
Another time, very good by Rude on the right side, but like something that's happening for 420 is that like Kyle is playing as a 9, but he's originally a midfielder. It's natural for him to drop. So like he drops, create these chances, find Rude high, but then when Rude gets on the end line, he has nobody on the box. So like when Kyle drops in, he needs someone, one of the midfielders, Thiago, Tavio, Virgil, to step on the box and be like a number 9.
Virgil Delano's been living in that corner all afternoon. Delano. High, towering pass, shielded away by Kings Hammer. Oliveira regains possession. Oliveira against Honderkamp. Trying to get a touch along the goal line. And Kuiper boots it off the shin of Campos. And again, Fort Wayne opting for those tall passes, but Kings Hammer has the definitive height advantage in this match. Final minute of regulation, we'll see how much stoppage time is awarded. Probably won't be a lot. Not a ton of stoppages in this first half. Meanwhile, Kuiper looking to counter for Kings Hammer. Kuiper to Bradenbach, stabbed away by Diaz. And finally out of the 18. Dalmida. Bolbrun waiting for some help. Again, Fort Wayne trying to counter before Kings Hammer takes their shape defensively. Instead, a great stab by Kenny Walker. Still waiting for...
2 minutes of extra time.
And there's the official word. Thanks to our public address announcer, Caleb Hatch. 2 minutes of added time. Again, it'll be really interesting to see how both sides come back and counter in the second half. Oh, that pass picked away by Bradenbach. Here comes Kuiper. Kuiper sidesteps Dalmida. Left-footed shot off of Sproat. Still not out of trouble. Honderkamp. Service in and booted away by Diaz. And Stinson sends it back to Moxham to reset. Second and final minute of stoppage time. Hall in traffic. Good job by Fort Wayne to force the takeaway. And a foul is called in the midfield as Campos takes a tumble. At this point, Fort Wayne moseying over, trying to make sure that this is the final chance for either side before we hit halftime. Delano will take this set piece, and they're just going to play it short. Cartavolo. And swept away by Stinson into the bleachers. Looks like somebody's going home with a souvenir. Actually not. You have to return those balls to the pitch. But it's wishful thinking, right? And that is the halftime whistle. Just like Wednesday night, no score between Fort Wayne and Kings Hammer Cincinnati. But as we've seen so far this season, Fort Wayne has been excellent out of the locker room. We'll see if that trend keeps on going. We'll recap the first half and get you all set for half number 2 right here on Sports Engine Play. This is USL2 Valley Division Soccer on Sports Engine Play.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
It was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at ProFed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. ProFed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Fans, I'm here with Colin Green and Company of Team Green Law to represent our Team Green Law team in the match in Fort Wayne Sports Club U14 Boys Mönchengladbach, coached by Steve Hartman. Coach, how's your season going?
Oh, it's going good. They're working hard and, winning games and trying.
Awesome. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the match. Give one big hand for our team in the match.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
Behind every flawless performance, or game-changing, or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
Well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
And then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch. We are Force Tech.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law,
FCFCtrivia.com and use the access code GOLD to see how much you know about soccer and the Fort Wayne FC. Remedy Live uses technology like this to engage people in meaningful conversation about mental health issues that we don't talk about about enough. While playing FWFC trivia, you'll also see polling questions answered by other FWFC fans here at the stadium to show you how much we all have in common. And don't forget the Chat Now button in the top left corner. That gives you access to free mental wellness support. Or you can text 494949 24 hours a day. At Remedy Live, our around-the-clock mental wellness center is here for anyone who needs to share the struggles they face. The struggle is real, but so is hope. We're Remedy Live. We chat, we listen, we love.
About 5,000 apartments all over the nation. ProFed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. ProFed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Fans, it's time for the Crazy Pins closest to the pin challenge. We changed up a little bit today, so instead of kicking towards the pin, you all are going a header pin. Try to be the closest one. Our winner will get a prize. Let's run a circle. I want to hear everybody's names and what school you go to.
My name is Jorge David, and I go to Canterbury.
My name is Blake Graham, and I go to Cole. My name is Eric Pang, and I go to Carroll Middle School.
My name is Mike Smith, and I go to Nuttington North.
Gain Souder, I go to Chicago.
My name is Jay Snow, I go to Woodside.
All right, let's start it up left to right, or I guess up to down. We'll start it out here. You do the honors. Bad start, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, come on, guys, come on. It's actually good, I respect that. I take it back. This one I'm not sure about. Oh, here we go, this one's coming, this one's coming. Oh, not quite the leader. This is looking pretty good. Is it gonna knock down? No. Last try here. Can anybody be our winner so far? Oh, that was beautiful. We have our winner, folks. Congratulations. A round of applause for our winner.
Back from Bishop Darcy Stadium for a moment. No score between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer Cincinnati. Alongside Braden Carroll, our man on the pitch, Luca Molta, and the rest of our fantastic production crew, I'm Josh Shane. As we take a look at the standings in the Valley Division, Fort Wayne is currently tied with Lexington SC with 7 points, in the table. Fort Wayne with a win or draw would be in sole possession of first place. Lexington SC with a bit of a quirky schedule. They are just a few days removed from playing the Dayton Dutch Lions. Now they get to play the Dutch Lions for a second straight time at their pitch. That match is coming up tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, Kings Hammer Cincinnati, they are 3 points back with 4 in the table. So if they were to find a way to get a win, it would force a 3-way tie heading into tomorrow. We'll come back in just a moment and get you set for half number 2 here at Darcy Stadium. Again, no score between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer Cincinnati.
Contributions to local police and firefighters' pensions and the Teachers' Retirement Fund. Together, we're helping build a stronger, safer, smarter Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery. Imagine that.
As a part of the Hoosier Lottery and Fort Wayne FC commitment to the community, we are honoring Indiana heroes all season long through the Hoosier Lottery Hero of the Game Award. For 35 years, the Hoosier Lottery has given back more than $7 billion to good causes throughout the state, helping to build a stronger, safer, smarter Indiana. This award honors individuals who made a difference and had an overwhelming impact on the lives of others. Tonight's recipients are Dr. Tom Detmer and Dr. Drew Miller, who founded the Aberdeen Group in 2012. The Aberdeen Group offers a wide range of psychological and consulting services for people in Northeast Indiana. Both Dr. Miller and Dr. Detmer have helped hundreds of people with the treatment of anxiety, depression, and a multitude of other mental health struggles that millions of people face daily. Fans, please join us in recognizing Dr. Detmer and Dr. Miller, tonight's recipient of the Hoosier Lottery Heroes of the Match.
Folks, we are here in Row E at Bishop Darcy Stadium, and we have our winner of the Hoosier Lottery winning seat of the game. And in fact, this entire row right here is going to win a little bit of a prize from Hoosier Lottery. So congratulations, special shout out to Hoosier Lottery. Fans, direct your attention to the video board for the Peter Franklin Kiss Cam. Just a smooch. Nothing. There we go. Hello. Outstanding. Hey! For over 50 years, Olympia Pools and Spas has helped transform backyards in Fort Wayne, Angola, and nearby areas. Dive into summer with Olympia Pools and Spas.
Second half between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer Cincinnati is coming up in just a matter of moments. Both sides still searching for their first goal of the night, and for more, we're going to turn it down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Braden Carroll, who is down with Coach Mike Avery.
Coach, a bit of a slow start in that first half. A lot of opportunities, but still a goose egg on the board. How do you change that here?
Actually, I'm not sure I agree that it was a slow start. I thought we actually played quite well in the first half. I mean, we had a lot of the ball. We were moving around. We were sitting in a block. Patient. And so that's what it is. At the end of the half, about 38 minutes, I thought we were quite good. And then the last 7 minutes or so got a little bit ragged. Their pressure came a little higher, and we started to give the ball away. So our style is that we have to keep the ball and be patient and keep moving and trust that an opening is going to come. And I'm pretty sure that it will.
How do you combat the aggression that this Kings Hammer squad has shown us so far?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the referee continues. The referee's done a good job so far at calling the fouls, but then sooner or later they have to deal with it with cards too, and just to keep the game, the guys that have the ball and are valuing the ball, to let them play, because they just get chopped down every time. And then we have to maybe move the ball a little bit quicker and stay out of tackles if we can.
Appreciate you, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you for that, Brayden. And Luke, I kind of want to get your thoughts on this first half. Mike Avery brought up a good point. Felt like Fort Wayne was in control for most of the match, but over the last 7 minutes or so, you finally saw Kings Hammer start to get some traction on offense. What does Fort Wayne need to do to make sure they continue to play the match on their terms in the second half?
Congratulations to
Yeah, I feel that Fort Wayne did a good job in the first half, but like the missing piece for me, it's that they need more people getting on the final third. So like Kyle is dropping, creating, being this false nine that he's supposed to be today. But then, like, somebody has to be the nine. Somebody has to be there. When he leaves the spot, he brings the center back with him. We need somebody else to step there and be there ready to score a goal. We could see, like, Rude creating a couple of chances on the right side, but nobody was there on the box. We could see, like, Kyle trying to create in the middle combined with Thiago, but we need a bigger presence in the final third. I feel that, like, we are doing a good job until get on the final third, but then we need this final piece, somebody to be there, willing to score.
Do you see any of the available substitutions for Fort Wayne that might be able to make a big difference in the second half? Somebody like a Namek Mehic, maybe an Amari Fawkes, who we have not seen yet. Anybody come to mind for you?
I feel that like the options that Coach Mike has for the offensive, it's like either Nam or Ugo. Ugo is very similar to what Kyle is doing today. Like he's this 9 that's very mobile, that steps outside of the box, but he's originally a striker, differently from Kyle. So like I think he could be able to change the dynamics to have like he's also bigger, he has a bigger presence, so I think he could change the dynamics for Fort Wayne here.
Well, it looks like neither side is making any changes to their 11 on the pitch, so we're going to stay with our starters on both sides to open up half number 2 in a crucial match for either side. Again, Fort Wayne currently tied with Lexington SC for first place in the Valley Division. Any result would put Fort Wayne in first place for the moment, but Lexington does have a match tomorrow at the Dayton Dutch Lions. Kings Hammer, meanwhile, trying to throw a little curveball in this division title chase. They trail Fort Wayne and Lexington by 3 points, and a win by Kings Hammer would force a 3-way tie after tonight's matches.
Yeah, and it's very important for Fort Wayne to stay on top. We know that Fort Wayne still play against Lexington, that's in the second place, but plays here at home. So it's important to keep this advantage.
And again, a big thing we've brought up from Fort Wayne. They've been a second half team in the early part of the season. Here comes a run for Kuiper. One-on-one against Diaz. Kuiper with a boot! And in the back of the net!
Kings Hammer Cincinnati goal, Bennett Painter.
My apologies, that is Bennett Painter. Oh man, that was quick work from Bennett Painter as Kings Hammer gets their first goal in 2 matches, and Fort Wayne surrenders their first goal at home all season.
That was quick. 20 seconds in the second half. We could see Fort Wayne trying to create something out of the kickoff. Turnover, long ball finding number 7, and he was very good. Like a little movement against Thiago. Thiago has a foot on the ball, he's unlucky, and he was very, very good to finish with the left foot. 1-0 to Kings Hammer here.
What an adjustment by Tony Awar here. Kind of a continuation of what we saw in the last 7 minutes from Kings Hammer. Starting to get some traction on offense, and one costly mistake from Fort Wayne. Painter getting one-on-one against Diaz, and Painter wins that battle. Of course, Painter not a stranger to guys like Anthony Hernandez, Namek Mehic, who will soon be playing at Bowling Green. Painter a standout at Bowling Green. Named to the All-Missouri Valley Conference second team this past season, and he is a top 100 prospect on Top Drawer Soccer's midseason 100. A hard challenge outside the box as we've got a little bit more on what's transpired. Let's turn it down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Braden Carroll.
Guys, no surprise that Bennett Painter is the guy for Kings Hammer Cincinnati to put up that first goal here. He finished 13th in the nation last season. In that year you mentioned his sophomore campaign with Bowling Green. Finished 13th in total goals, 15th in total points. He is an absolute dog at the college level, and here he is shining at the semi-pro ranks.
Thank you for that, Braden. And yeah, like you said, Painter putting his impact in this match in the second half. A goal in the 46th minute. That's the only tally of the match so far. So how does Fort Wayne respond here? They have done a good job of responding to adversity. We saw that in the Lexington match last weekend when Fort Wayne was behind 1-0. And it's kind of funny how this game works too sometimes, Luca. You could be in control for 80, 85 minutes and have a ton of shots on goal, but still wind up on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Yeah, like that's the beautiful thing about football, right? About soccer, that like you can go, Josh.
Meanwhile, maybe another chance. Sliding tackle. Last touch by Delamina, but that goes off the shoulder of the defender, Parrish.
But yeah, like that's the beautiful thing about football, that like you can control the game, you can get closer to win, but like it's very unpredictable what's going to happen on the game, right? So you can see that Fort Wayne did well in the first half, controlled, had the better actions, that had the better chances to score, but then all of a sudden Kings Hammer just finds a goal and everything changes on the game. And answering the question that you said, like what Fort Wayne can do to react to this game here, is just keep doing the same things that they've been doing for 2-3 years, and like control the game, try to create chances in the offensive side of the pitch, repress when they lose the ball. There's still a long time to go in this game. We still have like 40 minutes ahead, so they have time to turn things around here. Just keep calm, keep doing the right things, and getting closer to the win.
So Fort Wayne trying to get their train back on the tracks. So we hear a train passing through Bishop Darcy Stadium right now. I'm just saying, it's hard to ignore, the loud horn from the train right now. Through ball denied. Good job by Hall. And some hard contact as Hall draws the foul on Cadavolo. And some of that fluidity that we saw in the first half, it's a little choppy from Fort Wayne to start this second half.
Yeah, it's tough when you concede a goal with 20 seconds in the second half, but like the quicker the team settle down, move past it, and come back to do the things that they were doing in the first half, it's the better for them.
And we've got a player down for Kings Hammer. This is Brock Kuiper on one knee right now as the trainers are tending to him. So hopefully Kuiper is okay. Kuiper is standout of Belmont University in Nashville. She grew up in Mason, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. He did score a goal earlier this season in the season opening win against West Virginia. As Kuiper is still down on the pitch right now, and folks getting a word with Kings Hammer head coach Tony Awar. And Kuiper is back on his feet and
you left your nurse's license
walking gingerly.
At the ticket office. Again, Mary Titcomb, you left your nurse's license at the ticket office.
I want to give a shout out to our training crew, of course, Fort Wayne FC, a longtime partnership with Optimum Performance Sports. And again, it is mental health and healthcare awareness night. Healthcare workers, whether it's mental health or healthcare workers, getting a special deal for tonight. So Casey Wellage will come into the match for Brock Kuiper, and the first substitution for Tony Awar. Casey Wellage out of Liberty Township, Ohio, another suburb of Cincinnati. And the first substitution moment for Kings Hammer in this match. Painter not done yet. Able to evade the double team as Herloof engulfs that ball. So Kings Hammer has to replace their 9 with Wellage, and we'll see how he responds. He is listed as a midfielder. Maybe it's an adjustment from Kings Hammer's part, kind of like what we see with Kaio playing that false 9. But nonetheless, Kings Hammer now in control of this match. Not a bad idea on the run for Hassan. Trying to tee up Campos or Bobrun. Instead, Moxham is all over it. Fans getting a little anxious, waiting for a strike from the boys in blue. Bradenbach heads that pass away. Well, right now, this is playing right into Kings Hammer's hands. Just one mistake from Fort Wayne. And it feels like that tough defensive shape from Kings Hammer, it's only getting stronger and stronger by the minute. Deep pass up ahead, Oliveira creates some separation, and Oliveira nuts the match in one apiece. Caio Oliveira answers the call as he's trying to put Kings Hammer back to bed. Let's have another look. What did you like about that, Luca?
I love the movement. We can see Tavio dropping, finding a long ball to Caio. The number 5 from Kings Hammer, the defender Stinson, kind of slapped a second, and Caio was smarter than him. Just waited for the ball to bounce and find the back of the net. Great goal by Caio. We told that like he's that guy, that he can score. He's able to score. He's able to set people in front of the goal. Like he has a lot of qualities. And it was great, a great reaction for Fort Wayne FC, responding minutes after conceding a goal.
The Three Rivers Regiment popping that blue smoke, and we've got a ball game, folks. 1-1 at Bishop Darcy Stadium in a crucial early season match between Fort Wayne FC and Kings Hammer Cincinnati.
Just something curious, Josh. I was talking to Caio earlier this week, and he was saying that his mom is in Brazil watching the game, and she's always watching us. So he was like, he said, I'm going to score, and you send a hug to my mom in Portuguese, please. So like, I'll take this moment to say, Dona Ana, abraço para você. O Caio falou que ia fazer o gol para eu te mandar abraço para você. Obrigado pelo carinho.
I do not speak Portuguese, but what a lovely message there, Luca.
I was basically telling her that like Caio told me that he would score and send a kiss to her.
You know, while we're on that nature of giving shout-outs, we do want to give a shout-out to Fort Wayne FC assistant coach Keelan Barker. It is his birthday today, and bet you what, that was a nice little birthday present from Caio. Caio trying to think of another goal. Instead, Moxham is all over that one. But how about Oliveira, first season with Fort Wayne, and the standout from Colorado State Pueblo, now with 3 goals already in 4 division matches.
Yeah, it's something very good about Caio that like even though he's a midfielder, he's a number 10, like he's able to contribute with goals, with assists. He's not only the goals, not only the assists, but it's very good to have someone that is a midfielder and can contribute with numbers like he's a striker.
And you see why Oliveira is one of the most proficient players in Division II. He helped Colorado State Pueblo reach the Division II Final Four 3 times throughout his college career. And again, with Fort Wayne a little short-handed from a striker standpoint tonight. Oliveira has answered the call. Meanwhile, here comes Matthew Carnavolo. Carnavolo with a goal the other night. Can he make it 2? Almost! Carnavolo almost catapults Fort Wayne ahead.
and a very similar play to his goal last Wednesday. Coming from the left, cutting inside, trying to find the bottom, the other side. So very good from Matthew, and like I feel that Fort Wayne gotta force the game a little bit more on his side. Like he has this quality to cut inside, to find pockets in the middle, to beat people in 1v1. So like just keep feeding him that he's going to find solutions for Fort Wayne.
Just look at what one goal gets you. It feels like Fort Wayne has settled back down. They're starting to get back to their style. And they're finding ways to finally break that shape as Hassan is tackled from behind. We play on. Cross is denied by Kings Hammer, but it does result in a throw-in.
But yeah, you're right. Great reaction from Fort Wayne FC. Like, as we told here, there is a long time to go in the game. Like, they still have 30, 35 minutes to play on this game. So just keep doing the right things, keep doing the things that they are supposed to do, and then with time, they're going to break down the defense from Kings Hammer.
Hassan with a cross, swallowed up by Moxham. So Moxham and Haraloof all of a sudden getting a lot more action in half number 2. Oh, and a tough challenge by Delano. Almost coming in like a freight train. Just couldn't stop that momentum. Now Stinson had that costly error that gave up the goal just moments ago. And Walker's pass a bit too far for Bradenbach. 2/3 of the way through this match, 60th minute, and we're all level at 1 apiece. Deep pass from Hernandez. Oliveira giving chase. But Moxham regains possession inside the 18. Okeke now with a deep pass to Bradenbach. And again, the long balls. You're trying to see what Fort Wayne was doing moments ago, trying to get behind that tough shape from Fort Wayne. But they aren't able to connect on those Hail Marys. Good pressure by Bobrun. Was trying to connect with Oliveira, but Okeke intercepted that pass. A shoulder check from Hernandez results in a foul against Fort Wayne. And thankfully, Wetledge is back on his feet without any problems. Actually, looks like we're going to get our next substitution now for Kings Hammer, as Caleb Frakes will come in for Noah Hall.
Substitution. Caleb Frakes onto the pitch.
So Frakes, another standout out of Northern Kentucky, will be in for the final 30 minutes. So that makes it 2 substitution moments now for Kings Hammer. Mike Avery has yet to go to the bench for Fort Wayne. Here's Painter. Scored that goal for Kings Hammer. Service in, punched away by Haraloof. Walker trying to go bicycle kick, still in play. And service in is denied by Haraloof. What a job by Fort Wayne's defense. You see the veteran savviness from Walker just moments ago, as Frakes nearly loses that out of bounds, and Cadavolo hits the turf after a hard challenge. And that results in a free kick for Fort Wayne in a prime spot. Fort Wayne looking to answer back. Down 1-0, less than a minute in the second half. Gaio Oliveira with an equalizer a few minutes later. And now Delano will take this set piece. And a man down right now for Fort Wayne. That is Sproat. Maybe Sproat trying to pull a veteran move himself, draw some contact. Delano at the ready, 63rd minute. Denied by Frakes, and that ball didn't really have a chance. Good job by Oliveira to stab away at it for the moment. Now Stinson. Up ahead to McHenry. Delano feeds Oliveira. Oliveira now with some space. Up to Beaubrun. Beaubrun turns. Out wide, Cannavolo. Cannavolo with a right foot. And that one hits the foot of Kings Hammer. Campos keeps it alive as Moxham skies for the ball. But again, Cannavolo, similar spot to what we saw on Wednesday night. This time Kings Hammer was able to get a foot on it.
Yeah, he's dangerous. If Fort Wayne can put him in this situation, if they can find Matt on the left, if they can find Caio, if they can find Thiago and put them in these situations, 1v1, running with the ball against the defenders of Kings Hammer, like, this is a scenario that's good for Fort Wayne FC every day.
Feels like the game's starting to open up for both sides. You're not seeing Kings Hammer settle into that shape as much. Maybe a little newfound confidence for Tony Awar's crew.
Yeah, the goals were definitely good for the game, like opened up a lot of space for both teams.
Official rules play on. And finally, play is stopped as Delano is down on the pitch. Looks like Parrish is the one that committed that tackle. Conversation with our officiating crew. Already 2 yellow cards presented on Kings Hammer's side, as it looks like Mike Avery's going to go to the bench for his first set of substitutions. We've got Ideto Gondo and Namik Mehic ready to check in at the scorer's table.
And about this foul, I've been agreeing with the ref on this game, but I think he missed on this one. Like, if he don't control the game now, like the players are going to take over. And then, like, it's not a good thing for him.
Delano again. Headed away, appears by Stinson. Cannavolo regains control. Can't get out of that tangled mess as Walker starts the transition opportunity. What a good job by Fort Wayne to get back on track. Diaz. Resets on the wing for Delano. Here's Hernandez. To Oliveira. With space. Oliveira through the triple team. Lets it rip, and it's off the shin of Okeke. And as Fort Wayne is making some substitutions, let's turn it down to Braden Carroll.
Coming in for Fort Wayne FC is Gaku Nishimura. He's a guy at his age 22 year in college with California who's had a bunch of experience on the pitch. An all-WAC freshman team recipient in 2022 with San Jose State and a second-teamer in 2023. He started 13 matches for Cal last season with 2 goals, and he has 2 matches of experience in the second division of Japan's Kanto Soccer League. He's a guy with a bunch of experience getting his time to shine.
Appreciate that, Brandon. Is Oliveira, this time with the left foot, sending that to the suites. So Ideto Gondo getting the start last Wednesday, coming off the bench this time. And Namik Mehic doesn't really need much of an introduction here in Fort Wayne. Just had his last day at school last week at Northrop High School. Going to play college soccer with his fellow teammate Anthony Hernandez and his soon-to-be new teammate Bennett Painter over at Bowling Green. That'll be a lethal combo for the Falcons. Mehic having a chance to earn his stripes, and of course Painter, a highly touted recruit himself. Off the chest of Stinson. Welledge sends it back to Fort Wayne's side. A good job by Cotavolo to keep it in play. Olivero can't get ahead on it. As Okeke resets for Kings Hammer. Off the abs of Mehic as Bradenbach will reset with a throw-in. Of course, Mehic getting a lot of minutes on Wednesday night as well. Coming in for an injured Oliver Muller-Jensen early on in the win against Kings Hammer Columbus. Diaz taking his sweet time, walking it up the pitch. Oliveira, nice flick, out on the wing. Hassan with a look, the cross, and we keep going. Hernandez trying to keep it alive. Here's Mehic. And last touch by Kings Hammer. What a run that time as Hassan was trying to set up his man.
Great combination. Good pass by Gaku, flick by Caio. As we mentioned in the first half, like Caio dropping, bringing the center back with him and opening the space in behind.
Space for Nishimura, but he can't get a good look from his left boot. Rather, excuse me, Gondo, not Nishimura. Actually, that is Nishimura in the match. '70th minute at Darcy Stadium, all level at 1 apiece. Game really opening up for both sides. As what a ball that time to Cotavolo, but he can't get a great first touch on it. Throw-in does come back to Fort Wayne. Here's Oliveira. Waiting for some help, an aggressive play by Stinson. Instead intercepted. Campos with space. Out on the wing to Mehic. Mehic waiting for help. Service into the box and nearly an own goal. Kings Hammer not out of trouble yet. That was off the shin of a center back, appeared to be Stinson, as it nearly vaulted into Kings Hammer's net. Instead, Fort Wayne resets this attack. Here comes Cotavolo again. Waiting for help. Dalmida feeding ahead. Cotavolo not giving up. And it's out of bounds. Goal kick coming to Kings Hammer. And again, it feels like Fort Wayne has just settled back into this match. They've reestablished control after giving up that goal in the first minute of the second half. A reminder of what's at stake if Fort Wayne gets a result tonight. They will take the lead in the Valley Division as of tonight, as Lexington SC does have a match tomorrow against the Dayton Dutch Lions. Speaking of which, that is Fort Wayne's next home match coming up next Saturday at Darcy Stadium. Here comes Nishimura. Pass too far ahead of Cotavolo as Moxham sniffs it out. Stinson's pass headed away by Cannavolo. We'll see if Kings Hammer can regain some semblance of offense with 17 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Still a lot of time to go in this match. Pass intercepted by Frakes. Frakes on the wing. Wellage can't get it out of traffic as Campos regains it for Fort Wayne. And Hassan a bit misplayed as Kings Hammer gets a throw in. Good pressure again by Oliveira. Mehic giving chase. Hernandez trying to apply pressure against Okeke. And again, you're seeing the fresh legs from Fort Wayne, from Mehic, from Nishimura, making an instant impact in this game. How about Oliveira, though? He's played all 74 matches so far, and he's still, to steal a quote from Charles Barkley on Inside the NBA, he still feels as fresh as a daisy. Speaking of Inside the NBA, I'm sure a lot of fans here at Darcy Stadium are going to have their eyes glued to the TV as soon as this match is over. Got the Pacers and Knicks in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Mehic shielding the ball away from Braden Bach and draws the foul.
I feel that the first 20 minutes of the second half were kind of hectic, both teams attacking a lot of spaces, and now things is slowed down a little bit. So it's time for Fort Wayne to keep putting new players, fresh legs on the game, and try to give this final push to find a goal here and find a win.
So now Ideto Gondo is getting ready to check in. And you've also got Hugo Garcia, Rosado Duran getting ready to come in as well. So Gondo plays out on that wing on the back line. It'll be interesting to see if he comes in for Hassan. As for Rosado Duran, he's listed as a midfielder, maybe coming in for Tavio. We'll see in a moment. Oliveira can't get a clean touch. Hassan backs him up. Here's Dalmida. Out on the wing for Hernandez. Fort Wayne sending numbers, trying to regain the lead, or actually gain their first lead of the evening. And now Fort Wayne will be a little more patient. Nishimura to Oliveira. Oliveira evades the triple team. Hernandez keeps that ball in play. Oliveira against Walker, and a savvy move against the 37-year-old. Oliveira draws a corner kick. And just in time for a couple of substitutions.
For Kyle Oliveira and Ideto Gondo in for Al-Sadi Hassan.
So Hassan comes out. As well as Hernandez. Actually, Hernandez is going to get some words from Mike Avery.
Yeah, I think Hideto is coming for Al-Sadiq Hassan on the left, and Hugo goes for Kyle. He goes up top as a number 9. Kyle is out of the game.
So Kayo, outstanding performance for him with the equalizer. And now it is up to somebody else on this Fort Wayne side to step up and be the hero of this match. Delano took all the corner kicks in the first half. But with Delano's day done, it's now Garcia Rosado Duran, rather Nishimura, who will take the corner. And now a substitution for Kings Hammer. That was the reason for the stoppage. Bennett Jarek is about to come in. And Owen Parrish will be the one to take a seat. And that is the third and final substitution moment for Kings Hammer. All right, 79th minute. Nishimura ready for this corner. A chance for Fort Wayne to get their first lead of the night. Nishimura. Far post. Headed away. It appears by Okeke. Rosado Duran keeps it alive for Fort Wayne. And with as many chances that Fort Wayne has had with the corner kick tonight, not made the most of that opportunity. Diaz. Deep ball for Hernandez, denied by Bradenbach. Nishimura keeps that ball in bounds. Little argument on who touched that last. Saying Fort Wayne did. Now Bradenbach will reset with a throw-in. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go at Darcy Stadium. If this result holds, Fort Wayne takes the lead in the Valley Division with 8 points in the table. Kings Hammer would still be well positioned with 5 points in the table with a 1-0-2 record. Painter trying to go for goal number 2. Swept away by Hernandez. It feels like we've got another goal in store in this match. The only question is who's going to get it. Of course, Fort Wayne a little short-handed coming into tonight. No Bouba Traore, no Mamadou Diarra, no Oliver Moeller-Jensen, none of the FAU trio. And Sproat with a good job walling off Painter so Herluf can get possession of the ball. And an errant pass from Dalmida as Painter applied pressure. Here comes Jarek. Dalmida taps it ahead for Nishimura, rather Campos. Mehic outpacing Bradenbach in a tough sliding tackle. But no foul is called. Fort Wayne trying to go quick on the throw-in, but it doesn't work. Feels like the calls have been a little inconsistent in the second half. But the hosts don't have a ton to complain about, considering Kings Hammer has 2 yellow cards and Fort Wayne has none.
Yeah, I feel that also like Kings Hammer has been the more aggressive team that like crossed the line a couple times more than Fort Wayne. But I agree with you. I think the ref's doing like an okay job here today. And like on these last minutes, like I think Fort Wayne is rushing things a little. Like I know that like the time's ticking, like they feel that the game's going towards the end. But like you still have 10, 15 minutes, like put the ball down, do the right things, like pass the ball. Wise decisions on these moments are the things that are going to bring the team closer to the win. If they keep rushing things, going for long balls, like you're too close to a mistake.
And it's mistakes like that cost Fort Wayne that goal in the first minute of the second half, leaving Painter alone in a one-on-one opportunity against Diaz. And Painter showing off that athleticism. Whistle as a member of Fort Wayne is down on the pitch. And it is Garcia Rosado Duran that's down. The native of Barcelona. And Rosado Duran, thank goodness, back on his feet. First season with Fort Wayne, a standout at the NAIA level at Midland University. He was named the Offensive Player of the Year in his conference with 12 goals and 4 assists. So Garcia Rosado Duran back on his feet. As our officiating crew resets now with a drop ball. Walker's been an Ironman, not being subbed out of this game at 36 years old. I bet you a guy like him that's played the LA Galaxy with FC Cincinnati before they moved to MLS, I'm sure playing with these college kids keeps him young at heart. And I say that like 36 is ancient.
Man, and he's been doing good today. Like, he's controlling the pace for Kings Hammer. Like, go, Josh.
Oh, and a tough chance that time. Good job by Kings Hammer, nearly feeding Parrish for a strike. Rather, Jarek. Walker a little frustrated as play resets for a Fort Wayne throw-in. You were saying about Walker, Luca?
Yeah, no, he's been doing great today here. Like, you can see that, like, he's the main guy in this midfield. He's controlling the game. He's trying to organize the team. So good job from him here. He's definitely like what the coach said, that like he's another coach on the pitch.
Yeah, we asked Tony Awar heading into this match, what is a guy like Kenny Walker doing on a team playing with a bunch of college guys? We need somebody like him to be another coach on the pitch. These kids are still in college. A lot of them are immature at times. But it's nice to have somebody like him. And heading into this match, a lot of folks were thinking that another former member of FC Cincinnati, Corbin Bone, was going to play in this match. So you had two guys in their 30s that were set up to play in this match. Bone was a last-minute scratch. But Walker, you see how he carries himself from a veteran standpoint, kind of anchoring that midfield for Kings Hammer tonight. Here's Gondo. Out on the wing, Cannavolo with some space. Cannavolo taps it ahead, and the header goes in! Hugo Garcia Rosado Duran with a humongous strike! In the 86th minute, Fort Wayne leads 2-1.
As we can see the goal, we can see the replay. You see, like, the guys doing what they're supposed to, like, not rushing things. Hideto dribbling, finding Gaku. Gaku finds wide, good cross in the second post. Namek sets it inside. And then Hugo, as a number 9, we said here that, like, maybe he could bring this presence on the box. He's a taller guy. He's a guy that's used it to score goals. Very good job by Hugo, being on the right spot and being aggressive enough to attack the ball and put it on the back of the net. Great ball by Gaku, great ball by Matt crossing from the left, and Hugo being on the right spot to score the 2-1, to score the winner so far for Fort Wayne FC. Fort Wayne FC 2, Kings Hammer 1.
Now, the immediate concern is you do have a player for Fort Wayne down on the pitch.
I think it's Namek. I don't know if it was on the celebration. I saw that, like, while they are celebrating, some guys started pointing to him. I don't know if somebody hit him while they were celebrating or like if he jumped and landed weird. I think he's the one that he's down. Like he's...
Yeah, the trainers are covering the number now, but just based on the players that are out on the pitch right now, it does appear to be Namek. Man, Namek, he has taken some tough tumbles this week. As it looks like we're going to get an injury substitution as a result with Kevin Ventura getting ready to check in. So that will be the third substitution for Fort Wayne. And Namek is back on his feet and walking gingerly.
Fort Wayne FC substitution.
No, Namek has been battling some injuries on and off during his high school career. And that is not a great sight. As we mentioned, one of the Fort Wayne natives for this team just wrapped up his high school career at Northrop. An outstanding prep career. And we hope the injury is nothing too serious for Namek. In the meantime, Fort Wayne just a few minutes away from pulling off their first comeback win of the season. Oh, but Herloof able to sniff out that attack from McHenry. McHenry was lurking. Sidestepped his way past a couple of Fort Wayne defenders, but Herloof with great vision as we hit the 90th minute. We'll see how much stoppage time gets awarded as Ventura gets his first touch. Subbing in for the injured Mehic. Walker, at 36 years old, trying to anchor Kings Hammer to a draw on the road. Painter, he scored that goal in the first minute of the second half, and he spikes the ball in frustration as Fort Wayne is awarded a throw-in.
To be honest, I think that the ref got it right. Like he was complaining about it, but I think the ref got it right.
McHenry heads it ahead. Bradenbach regains possession for Kings Hammer. Time ticking away as Kings Hammer is staring at their first loss of regular season play. Cannavolo, a savvy move to draw the foul, and a yellow card comes out. It appears the card goes against Jarek. So the third booking of the match, all three of them on Kings Hammer. So we will get 5 minutes of added time. As Fort Wayne inching closer and closer to their third win of division play and an outright lead in the Valley Division. Okeke spins away from Garcia Rosado Duran. Great flick ahead, McHenry loses control, but what a job by Diaz. Jarek and Wellage were in position, but neither could get a clean touch. Oh boy, maybe another chance. Garcia Rosado Duran has one goal. He's got two! Make it Campos! Tiago Campos ices the game for Fort Wayne FC! What a response by the boys in blue! We've seen it this season, Luca. Fort Wayne FC has been a second-half team, and that trend continues as Fort Wayne just minutes away from another win.
Yeah, like it's great by Fort Wayne and great by Thiago Campos. Like he is that guy. He's everywhere. He runs the entire pitch. He's the guy willing to do the work every single time. And he got a gift from number 5 from Kings Hammer here. Like press it high, get the ball and score the third, guarantee the win for Fort Wayne FC. We've seen him pressing against Sueño, getting the ball and setting it up for Oliver to score the winner. And today he did the job himself. Very good by Thiago Campos. Well deserved by him.
Campos essentially icing this game for Fort Wayne. Another Brazilian native. Standout from Gardner Webb. Gardner Webb helped the Bulldogs win a conference title and a spot in the NCAA tournament last year. And a little extracurricular activity as the foul goes against Kings Hammer. As it appears to go against Jarek. So Herloof taking his sweet time, resetting things on this set piece. But what a job by Fort Wayne, down 1-0 to open the second half. And Mike Avery's crew, a little shorthanded, but the depth is on display once again as we've got 3 goals from 3 different players, and 2 more members of this team are in the scoring column for the season. Fifth minute of stoppage time. Caravolo times the run, no offsides flag. And I stand corrected. The assistant referee waited until Caravolo gained possession to raise his flag. And a foul against Kings Hammer. Maybe a few more seconds after the goal celebration from Campos and company. But at this point, this result is all but certain. And that is full time. From down 1-0 to a 3-1 win. The Comeback Kids pick up win number 3 in Valley Division play and are atop the division as we close out the month of May.
Very good, very good. Well done by Fort Wayne FC players today, coaching staff, everybody. Great job. We can tell that like this team is prepared for every situation. Like we could see conceding a goal with 20 seconds in the second half, it's tough to come back, but we could see that like the team has quality, like the squad has quality. As you mentioned, like today we had 2 new guys scoring, 2 new guys contributing, and Fort Wayne did a great job to come back and settle like this 3-1 win here.
Brett and Carroll, your thoughts on tonight's match?
You have to think about the fact that this is a Fort Wayne squad that, for the most part in the early goings of this season, has relied on FAU guys. Heading into tonight, they have 7 goals. Those 3 in Oliver Jensen, Mamadou Diarra, and Abukar Traore. They have 4 of those goals. And then to come in here with a sort of different lineup than what we are used to and have a great night like this, it's so impressive. I wouldn't even say that there's a player of the match. It's just the whole unit.
No doubt about it. Thank you for that, Braden, and thank you for all your work tonight. As we take a look back on tonight's match, all the scoring coming in the second half, and we talked about this since the beginning of the match. Fort Wayne was a little shorthanded, dealing with some injuries, dealing with some players unavailable for various reasons. But how about this crew? The depth on display tonight. And once again, that's been the theme in Fort Wayne's rise to being a power in USL2. It's a big reason why they're winners again tonight.
Exactly, like one guy stepped out of the field, it's an opportunity for another one to step in. And we could see here today, like Abubakar Traore was not here, Mamadou was not here, Oliver could not play, and we could see Hugo coming in, we could see Thiago scoring. So it's good to see that like Fort Wayne has alternatives. So like if someone is not on the pitch today, somebody else is going to step up, somebody else has enough quality to solve the problems for the team.
How big of a win like this is it for a team that was a little shorthanded tonight? How do you feel like that can inspire some confidence for the guys who may not get a ton of minutes in the regular rotation?
I think it's very important for the team to show the strength of the group. As you said, like some guys were not here, and then like the group took care of business. The group was able to find a win, and in a situation that was not easy. We were here with like 46, 47 minutes of the second half, and the game was 1-0 to Kings Hammer. And Kings Hammer was defending really well, was really compact, was not making things easy for Fort Wayne FC. So we can tell that like wins like this like build the character of the group and make the team stronger moving forward.
Exciting night as always, and Luca, appreciate your help as always as Fort Wayne winners again at home by a final score of 3-1. Next home match is coming up next Saturday. That will be against the Dayton Dutch Lions. But first, Fort Wayne's going to hit the road for their longest road trip of the regular season against West Virginia United. First time that the boys in blue will see that program, and we will see if Fort Wayne can keep things rolling, as again, they are currently atop the division, given the results tomorrow for Lexington SC at the Dayton Dutch Lions. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Final score again, 3-1. Fort Wayne on top over Kings Hammer Cincinnati. For Braden Carroll, for Luca Multa, and the rest of our fantastic crew, I'm Josh Agan saying so long from Bishop Darcy Stadium. We will see you next time for Fort Wayne FC Soccer.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
There was an empty lot sitting by my gas station. I always wondered what I can do with that lot. Back in 2012, built that laundry. I was always looking for some local bank where they could make decisions right on the spot. It's very convenient, and a lot of the employees at Profed know me personally. So I asked them for a loan, and they actually came to our facility to give us a loan for the real estate as well as for the equipment. Before I came to United States from India, I had a business for 10 years in India. So I have always been entrepreneurial. Until last year, we had 8 gas stations. We had 40 single-family houses. We have about 5,000 apartments all over the nation. Profed has always offered me whatever I wanted to get to that level. Profed is a good partner to be with.
Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind every flawless performance,
or game-changing meeting, or important broadcast,
and even a powerful Sunday morning worship service,
there are people just like us.
Well, us actually.
Our mission is to partner with you
to design the best audio, visual, and technology experience that meets your needs.
And then step back behind the curtain to make sure it always runs without a glitch.
We are Force Tech.